Hey guys, it's me, Kyrandis. Not too well here, kind of sick, and not too much a standing progress from last video to this one, or I don't know, but this is just kind of an overview of what I've done so far, I guess, in the last little while. And this is a second recording because the first one, it came out way too choppy because when I'm recording the editor, the frame rate just tanks for some reason on the recording. This is actually what I see on screen, whereas in the editor video, it's like a slideshow almost, and when there was like motion blur involved, it looked really disorienting when I was re-watching it myself over and over, and I was like, all right, I can't do this to my viewers. So I'm just gotta take better care. So this is just to go over what I've gone so far. I've gotten some like basic animations in, targeted in from some Unreal Store assets. Don't really have anything too visually impressive here. I've got a bit of a basic combo attack system going too, workable in any direction essentially when attacking. There's a turn rate only when you're moving, but when you're attacking it's like a snap feedback. It looks kind of wonky right now, but I tested this because it's like through a lot of the MMOs that I played on this channel, obviously, this was pretty much apparent in most games, and I think they sort of just blend that snap with like visual effects or something. So I'm gonna try and just do that, and it also just seems to make more sense for me too, especially if this is like an action game, and I need to work more on the camera angles and controls. There's a bit of a thought process behind like the camera sort of being like over the shoulder here and sort of like in the direct focus of the left side of your eyes, and the right side will be sort of like more for the enemy. Sort of referenced a bit like I guess like from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Some of the references there, the combos and control system is it's actually very Vindictus influenced. But there's other mechanics that I want to. Oh, oh, I've already discovered a problem. I'm no longer traversing when I'm doing a dodge hop for some reason. That's very strange. All right, well, at least the dodge works, but then it's not translating distance for some reason. I don't know why. There's still hit collision and some camera shaking on blowing up barrels, just fine, and also doing a collection. I don't know why the dodge hop doesn't work. That's actually kind of weird. I think there's walking too. Yeah, walking's still kind of busted, but it's not really working yet. Got like some doors and gate things opening out. I need to paint this level quite a bit more. This is a real issue here because this wasn't happening in the editor, but it's happening here in a standalone build, which is kind of strange, but yeah. And yeah, this is hit detection accurate, so it won't. I had an issue before where the collision was just checking all the time. So like when you poke something with a sword, just by walking into it, it acted like a lightsaber that's on fire and just doing constant like damage applications on an object. It was kind of insane. Other areas that I need to work on are the character's hair. I need to finish off the left side here because it looks incomplete based on how it's styled right now, because I thought this was just acceptable for prototyping, which it is, but it's starting to bug me now, so I want to finish that off. I need to also build out her costume armor. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it to a cinematic trailer by the end of the year, but I'm gonna try. It might be a little bit past the year, but I really want to get like at least something down before the end of the year. Like just a short scene trailer that could be like 30 seconds long, and just try and really smartly put it together as fast as I can. The costume, I might end up doing more of like just a black silhouette mesh, because there's a lot of challenges with that too. It's even just changing like the parts and skin weighting them, binding them to a skeleton, and making sure it works and isn't like crunched all over the place, skin weights, and as well as like animation problems. So I'm probably gonna have the character do like stretches and stuff too, with some like exercise animations or whatever, just to make sure that when the mesh actually comes in for the clothes and whatever, it's not actually broken. And then there's still cloth physics that I need to explore on that end too, as well as like modeling cloth in Blender, quite a bit of another work stream. It's a lot to learn essentially in such a short period of time, but I'm doing it anyways, considering I've gotten like integration where it's kind of like what I feel is like Vindictus. I have the left mouse button essentially triggering this 3-point attack, and this was just for prototyping. As well as the sword, I need to change this as well too. And I need to sort of look up hand to object placements and try and make use of Unreal's new technology of having it like hand accurate like placements to objects, because they can do that now. How they do it in old games was essentially they do like a pre rendered animation essentially. So like if there's a door and like, you know, the character will always move their hands toward the door, but they won't actually land on the doorknob accurately. It'll just look as if it's like an elusive grab to the door, is what old style is. But Unreal 5 here, I know they can have hand accurate movements as well as like height accurate adjustments if you're doing like leaps over something. And you just have to like measure vectors or something or math or whatever in order to do like some kind of weird trace line into the ground and then up an object and down or whatever to detect collision height and whatever, so it looks more realistic and immersive in that sense. It's a lot of details just for like that small thing, but this is something that's important to me for the player experience is what I'm looking for to deliver. And as well as like even the combat feedback, like this is very early prototyping. Obviously I'm not going to have these kinds of animations, and she's probably going to translate like forward when she's actually attacking, and I'm not even sure if I want her standing still or if I want that to she's probably not going to be standing still. She's probably going to be running around swinging that thing, but she'll probably be boosted by the attack if anything, so she'll still be like locked from movement, because I think it's just going to be too much to handle if the character can actually be running and swinging. She'll probably have a few moves that do that, but I think in the terms of the game and concept, that could be very problematic and a huge development challenge for a single person. So I don't want to like exactly go overboard in dreams and scope and fantasy and not be able to make it realistic. So I have to keep that in careful. This is like pretty much just getting this feel down and this sort of like camera zoom in as well and zooming out when it's moving in terms of information that I want the player to like have and feel. So like, you know, when in certain areas I'm probably going to have like a trigger box too to make the camera actually go out even further, or I might even do something crazier like a near automata swap and turn it into like an RTS controls where it's like right click movement and then WASD is like your skills when you're fighting a gigantic foe, where the player actually does need a lot more visual information by zooming the camera out, and then go even like full on top down instead of actually just over the shoulder here. That's fully possible, but it's like an entire control scheme, and like I can't just drop that on the player and expect them to know the controls. There has to be like some sort of a learning curve like that tells them how to use this. So that's like a huge extra like tunnel workload just to sort of engage in consideration, but not so much if I want to do that, because I can do a hit cursor trace channel from like a camera up above after like setting the camera to rotate and pull itself out from the character, as I'm already kind of doing it now. Like I can look down and it's like, you know, we're almost kind of there already with the zoom out that I have on this. You know, I just have to pull out even further by setting the max bounds even more, but I don't you know, just ideas, but just some nuttiness there. Anyways, that's pretty much what it is. I need to figure out why this is happening. She should actually be boosted forward by like almost 800 centimeters or something, like to here when she does that, but she's just hopping in place for some reason. So, and I need to change that hop too because it just looks ridiculous. I should actually make her do a slide like Lan. And yeah, a lot of this is controls is like influenced by Vindictus, but I'm playing Lost Ark right now, and I actually do want to build a counter-attack system to do with the enemies in the story in this game, because this character, it would make sense as a feature for the character to have a counter-attack system. But that might increase my workload like exponentially and like impossibly unrealistic, because that means I have to make like counterattack animations for every single like capital foe that she has to go against, and that's a lot of work unless like I have them all have generic animations, which won't be as exciting. So, and I want the player to feel some form of excitement when they overthrow a foe, and you have this tiny character. And yeah, so I don't know, there's just so much to think about. And the code is also like kind of nuts too, but we'll see where I get to. Hopefully I can get the trailer. The trailer is really only just to envision sort of like a story sense. Really, it's not actually for gameplay or anything. It's just mostly like how much details and motions and captured cinematics I can do in this short period of time to enable like having real-time gameplay be the cinematics. And if I can do that, then that means the cinematics are all set to go, and I just need to finish building out the custom assets and the models and start fleshing out the whole world, doing monster AI, doing AI behaviors, and then start building into procedural sound musics, and maybe looking to commission out like a few sound artists or vocal artists or something, and I don't know, maybe I'll have something there. We'll see. I'm just one dude plowing through. Thanks so much for watching and hearing this, and I'll see you next time. Peace.